Damn, Khvliq at it again.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Khvliq from Alright, excuse me. Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Khvliq from ProdByKhvliq, and today I'm gonna give you my top 5 tips to take your beats from sounding boring and amateurish to placement ready in just a matter of time. Let's go. Now, personally, I hate long YouTube intros, so let's get straight into it. Tip number 1, drops. Now, I know you hear other YouTube producers telling you to switch up your beat from time to time so that it don't get boring, right? Now, an easy way to do that is drops. Basically, you just throw a couple of those, maybe 1, 2, maybe 3, just little slight drops in your beat, and it'll change up the whole dynamic of the entire thing, I promise you. And the cool thing about it, it don't even have to be all dramatic. Like, it don't have to be this huge build up like in EDM. I mean, unless you're doing EDM, but it don't have to be all that. It could just be a simple, just take a couple sounds away and then add in the 808 on the next bar. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I'm gonna show you right here. Watch this. This is before I added the drop. And this is after I added the drop, clearly. And that's it. I didn't even build anything up. All I did was take out a couple elements from the bar before and then just let it hit on the next bar. And it was that simple. Like I said, you do that a couple times in your beats and you're gonna be A-okay. Tip number 2, put a soft clipper on your master. Now, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one right here because it's fairly simple, but I will tell you this one trick, this one secret trick that most producers won't tell you can change your music forever. I promise. And this right here, this is the sauce. This is when producers talk about secret sauce and whatnot. This is the sauce. Simply putting a soft clipper. I'd stumble through that. But simply putting a soft clipper on your master track can change everything. I do it to every beat. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you listen in real time the difference between having a soft clipper and not. Obviously, wear headphones for this part. If you don't got headphones, go get some, come back, and then we're gonna get into this. Boom, let's go. All right, so look, I'm gonna show it to you first without the soft clipper. And yes, I know I got a bunch of stuff right here. Just ignore that and focus on this. Anyway, this is without the soft clipper. And this is with the soft clipper. And boom, just something as simple as that can make a huge difference. Tip number 3, side chaining your kicks and 808s. Again, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this, but it is something that you should be doing in every single beat that you make, unless your beat just doesn't have a kick or an 808. Now, for some reason, side chaining is one of those things that I guess has a lot of misconception within the producer community because it seems to be a lot of rumors about it, a lot of myths about it, that it's this secret thing that only 7.5 people know how to do for some odd reason. It's not that difficult at all. I can physically show you how to side chain in less than 30 seconds right now. Matter of fact, that's what I'm gonna do. No, hold on. Disclaimer. I'm talking about side chaining kicks and 808s. Vocals, that's a whole nother beast. We're talking strictly kicks and 808s. But anyway, I'm gonna pull this up real quick. Like I said, less than 30 seconds, put a timer on me. Watch this. This is all you have to do. You send this to here. You add a limiter here. Click this. Turn this knob all the way up. Now just pay Now just play your drum in 808 and turn this knob right here until it sounds right. Simple enough. Do that on every track. Next tip. Tip number 4, layering. This is probably the most basic of all tips, but layering is also very important. Layering can take your beat from sounding like simple and boring and flat to giving it more depth and atmosphere and feeling to it. You get what I'm saying? It's like somebody could listen to one of your beats that, let's just say you have just the piano, and they may like it and it may be good, but they just don't know why. They feel like something's missing. That's what's missing, the layering. You get what I'm saying? I can show you an example right here. Like I said, we're trying to fly through these. I know I'm not going in depth as I should, but we're trying to fly through them because it is currently 3:30 in the morning and I have to be awake in a couple hours. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get right into this. This is the beat with just the one sound, right? And this is that exact same beat with more layers added to it. And as you can see, all I did was just copy and paste the melody from one instrument to another, and it made the beat just feel more wholesome and more full and more powerful and ambient. And it works. It works every time. But you see, the dangerous thing with that is you have to make sure that, how do I explain this? That you layer it with the right sounds. You get what I'm saying? You don't want the two sounds to clash in frequencies. You don't want the two sounds, to just not mesh well together. And with that being said, that takes me into my 5th and final tip, and that is sound selection. All right, now sound selection is a little tricky, right? There's a lot that goes into trying to explain sound selection. It could be anything from not picking sounds in the same frequency, from just not picking shitty sounds. Like, I don't know how else to explain that, but some sounds just sound corny. The thing about sound selection is a lot of the times it's subjective. And it changes, from genre to genre. You have some sounds that you wouldn't use in some genres that you would use in others. And then you have subgenres. And then, some sounds work in certain beats and some sounds work for certain producers. Take Pharrell, for instance. He uses a lot of sounds that a lot of producers nowadays wouldn't use, or even back in his days wouldn't use, but they work for him and they work for his style. And that, he created his own lane with that. But going back to sound selection, you'll learn as you go on what sounds good together, and what sounds just sound good in general. You'll learn to discern what a corny sound is or what a good sound is. That just takes practice and just time. I can't really tell you, even though this is probably the most important tip on the list. But learn your dog, go through different one-shot kits, get different serum banks. And also when it comes to layering sounds and putting sounds together, don't just think, because two sounds came in the same pack or in the same bank that they go together. No, that isn't necessarily true all of the time. But I do have one last example for y'all, and that is the difference between a shitty sound and a good sound. and the difference that it makes in a beat. Let me show you real quick. So listen to this guitar loop, right? Let's hear this guitar loop. Now we're gonna listen to that same loop with a different guitar. You hear the difference? I mean, the first one just sounded straight corny to me. You know what I mean? But then again, like I said, it's all subjective. So like I said, my advice is to experiment, do your thing. General rule of thumb with sound selection is if you add a sound to a beat and it doesn't immediately increase, or not increase, but make the beat sound better, then you don't need that sound. That's not a good sound for this beat. You know what I mean? Anyway, these are my top 5 tips for producers to make better beats. My name is Khvliq. This is produced by Khvliq. I have a loop kit out right now, and you can get it in the description. I know it says $5 when you click the link, but there's a button right under it that allows you to download it for free. Unless you want to give me the $5, I could really appreciate it. But other than that, if you like the video, subscribe, have a good night, and Merry Christmas.